Greetings, everyone. This is Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb, inviting you and welcoming you to the BizzyWebinar today on video on your website. Thank you all very much for joining us. We have a bunch of folks that are joining. So as we wait for folks to get online, I'm just going to go through a few basics and details for the day. First, our agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about BizzyWeb, who we are and what we do. That's going to take less than a minute. And then we're going to get into some urgent news and an update about mobile responsive sites, specifically as they result or relate to Google. You're going to want to know about this, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then we're going to go into video basics, how to get video on your website, how to build a library of videos, how to shoot video, and how to embed it and optimize it for maximum result. This is going to be a great event today. Would love to also have your questions in Q&A, so be sure to go ahead and post those questions live. And the way to do that is by going here from our BizzyWebinar page, which is available from events, or right on the homepage of BizzyWeb. You can scroll down and click on this link that says head over to Google+. This one right here, head over to Google+. So if you click on that, head over to Google+, you will see this page. It's going to say Q&A and live. If you click on that button, you're going to see a new window pop up. And I'm just going to mute that so you don't have to hear me twice. But then there'll be a Q&A window. And if you click Ask a New Question right here, you'll be able to ask me anything you want. So ask a question here will get you on my window, and I'll be able to see that you asked a question. If you have any technical issues or if you have specific questions about the topic at hand, and certainly if you have other things that you'd like me to handle or talk about during the event. This BizzyWebinar, of course, is mainly to talk about online video, but at the end of each of these webinars, we also do general Q&A and tech support. So that's your time to ask those questions that you need information on. So for example, if you need more info about the mobile responsive stuff that I'm going to talk about, or of course, online video or anything in online marketing, that's your way to submit a question. You do need to be logged into Google+ in order to do that, but it's pretty easy. Anyone with a Gmail account can easily get onto Google+ and log those questions. And again, you get there by simply going to the post for the day, and then right underneath the embedded video that you're likely watching from here, you'll just click on head over to Google+ and follow the prompts to join us right here. Click on the green Ask a New Question button, and that's how I'll know that you need me to talk to you. All right, let's get down to basics and get rocking. First off, I did want to chat about some things that we do. BizzyWeb's an online marketing company focusing on two big things: web design, specifically WordPress web design, but then also online marketing. So we host all of our own websites, but then we also do search engine optimization, content marketing, writing articles for you, pay-per-click ads, social media setups and integrations, and everything that revolves around helping you generate buzz without getting stung. We build websites, we make them awesome, and then we get you the details that you need to keep growing your business online. There's a lot of other web design companies out there. There's not any company that's quite like BizzyWeb in the fact that we integrate our websites with social media fully. When you publish to a BizzyWeb website, that active publishing goes out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, integrates with Pinterest and YouTube and all kinds of wonderful stuff to save you time and energy and let you focus on what matters most in your business. All right, let's get into our urgent reminder. First off, here is what you need to know. Google announced that on April 21st, they are going to stop displaying non-responsive websites in mobile search results. What that means is for the estimated 80% of searches that happen in online devices first or mobile devices first, meaning phones and tablets, they will not show up. Your website will not show up in those mobile searches anymore as of April 21st. They're going to set up a new algorithm or a change to their search algorithm that simply is not going to display non-mobile friendly websites to mobile devices. So run a test at this address. Go ahead and write this down if you have a question or if you wanted to. Go to google.com/webmasters/tools/mobile friendly, and I'll show you what that looks like. I actually have that window up right here. You enter in your mobile, so at this mobile friendly page, you enter in your web page URL. I'm not going to do it right now, but you just enter in your URL and it'll tell you if you're mobile friendly. And if you're not, it'll tell you what you should do. So take advantage of that, look at it. BizzyWeb, of course, is an online marketing company that focuses in web design. So if you need our help, we can help you gauge that. And you can give us a call or connect with us on something to ask more questions about that mobile-friendly thing. So if you're not responsive, give us a call, talk to us, let us know what you think. We also did have a big article that's on the homepage of BizzyWeb right now. Big changes in mobile search coming April 21st. And there's a lot more detail on what that all means and how that's going to work for you. So review this article, check it out, test your website. And if you do have any issues, let us know. I'd hate to see any of our clients or friends lose up to 80% of their web traffic because they're not on mobile devices or they're not visible on mobile devices. So make sure that you're capturing that and cataloging it. All right, we've got that down. Now we can get into video basics. This is a video on the web primer. You'll note right now that you're watching this broadcast from a YouTube video. Google Hangouts allows you to broadcast a Hangout on air over YouTube on an embedded video from any website. You can categorize it, check it off, add keywords and tags, and embed that on your website. And if you didn't know, the largest search engine in the world is of course Google, but the #2 search engine by far is actually YouTube. So if you're using YouTube and Google, you're getting a much better opportunity for search engine results, and even more so than what you'd find on Bing, Yahoo, Yelp, or any of those other ones. You're going to see a greater lift in your results, as well as just categorizing and adding integrated video is a great way to tell complex ideas or introduce your clients to you and your products and services very quickly and in an engaging way. So what is video worthy? If you have a lot of action in your website, or if you have a compelling story and wanted to tell complex stories, video is perfect for that. If you wanted to personalize your company, product, or service, that's another great opportunity for managing and maintaining your services. And if you have a quick share or an intro of what you wanted to do or who you are, if you're a solopreneur trying to tell your story, you know, if you've ever been to a Kickstarter page, there's always videos included in those because you need to be able to share a lot in a little bit of time. And a well-done video can be much quicker and more effective at converting visitors into customers than almost anything else. If you want a great example, you can go to realmccoy.com, that's a BizzyWeb client, or idream.tv, both BizzyWeb clients. They do gorgeous videos, and they have some great demo reels and details on their website that'll help you figure out what you need to do on your videos. Length and content of your videos, keep them as short as possible and be sure to think visually. You know, you wouldn't necessarily want to just have you at your desk talking to your webcam. You need to have a lot of movement, you need to have connections, you need to have different cut shots, different items on your website or on your video. So the more that you can do to make your intro dynamic and interesting, the better you're going to be. Now, simply because you can shoot a video on your iPhone or Android, publish it up to YouTube quickly and easily, doesn't necessarily mean that that's your best option, although certainly it's better than nothing in most cases. So if you have the ability, go ahead and shoot some video, give it a shot, find some decent software, and actually you can do most of your video editing right in YouTube now, so you can put all that together. In general, your homepage intro on your website should not be longer than 30 to 45 seconds. Think about what people are looking for on your website when they get to your homepage. If they've just Googled you or found you or typed in your name, they don't want to lock into a 15-minute video, especially if they're just browsing amongst you and your competitors. Give them a quick intro, introduce them to other parts of your website, how to talk to you, how to find you, and really what differentiates you from the competition. Think of this as your mini elevator pitch. That's your homepage intro. For a basic tutorial or demo, think about 2 to 3 minutes, and again, as short as possible. If you look at BizzyWeb's website, I'm actually going to switch back over here. We have support videos and we have tutorial videos right inside of here. Each of these tutorial videos is less than 2 minutes long. So if you wanted to know how to add a new page, add a paragraph or post, how to delete or edit an image, this is one of the more complex topics inside of here. So I'm going to click on this and let's see how long that one is. Let's see here. If I click play, 42 seconds long. So, that's about all you need for demos and trainings. So looking at that, make sure that you're keeping that in mind as you look at your video. Training or complex topics. Busy webinars, for example, can be as long as 30 to 45 minutes or even longer, but keep in mind that the longer you go for your video, the more likely you are to lose your visitor because they're watching at their computer or on their mobile device. And especially if the topic is dry or tough, they're likely to start multitasking, start checking email, start doing other things. So keep it as short as possible and edit your video to add transitions, labels, and banners wherever possible. Now, I don't do a lot of that on our Busy webinars because this is all kind of pre-packaged by Google, but you'll note that there's always a front page and there's sections in between each seminar topic when we talk as I go through these. That's very intentional because we want to give people the right amount of information. And if you're scrolling through a video to find all the topics, you should be able to gauge the different levels of information and find out where you want to go as part of that. So lengthen content. Homepage, 30 to 45 seconds. Basic tutorial, 2 to 3 minutes. Keep it short as possible. And then for a complex topic, you can go 30 to 45, but again, keep it as short as you can. For equipment, it's absolutely possible and in some ways preferable to use small devices like iPhones or Androids. You can shoot HD 60 frame per second slow-mo video on your iPhone or Android, but make sure that you're shooting HD, that you're taking the time, and that ideally you're using a mount. Make sure to always also shoot horizontally. A lot of people do this where they just hold their phone upright because that's what they always do when they're holding their phone, and they start shooting video. If you try to look at that on a PC or on some other device, that's going to be letterboxed on either side, and it's going to look really, really dumb. Don't do it. Keep it horizontal wherever possible, and make sure that you're taking that time to connect up and to really shoot a professional video. Now, I mentioned this once before, but you can actually use YouTube's video editing tools to help you in a lot of these regards, especially if you're shooting freehand with an iPhone or an Android. You're going to have a lot of jerkiness on your video. Your hand's going to wiggle a little bit, and it's going to end up looking weird. Well, YouTube can actually silence those or smooth out that video for you if you use the tools that are embedded right in it. It'll remove camera shake. That's in the enhancements on your YouTube video. It's all very easy. It's all very fun, but make sure that you do that. For lighting, ideally, you're going to want to have your subject be as bright as possible. Couple words about lighting. Make sure that you shoot ideally with a light source like a window at your face if you're talking. You don't want to shoot with a window behind you because it'll wash out your face and you might show up really dark. And make sure that you don't have anything that's competing with your subject matter. So like if you're shooting a video and there's something in the background that's very distracting, people might not be able to key in on what you're actually trying to say. That's a great way to make that happen. For audio, it's very easy to get a cheap lavalier mic from Amazon.com or whatever that'll plug right into your phone or to your professional device. But just get something. I'm talking on a professional podcasting microphone right now. It's a Blue Yeti. The Yeti is about $100 and it produces brilliant video or audio. One thing to note is the closer you are to that microphone, the better it's going to sound. So if you're shooting video and you're running a test and it sounds very echoey, just pull yourself in really closely to the microphone and you'll see that the echo magically goes away. That's an old broadcasting trick, and I didn't learn about it until I started recording video on a regular basis with a local radio station. So if you're on, or if you're familiar with WCCO AM, BizzyWeb and Dave. I am on WCCO Radio's Real Estate Radio Hour every Saturday. So be sure to tune in between 10 and 11 on Saturdays to hear me give a buzz tip every week. Think about your background and your surroundings. Look at banners, look at motion, put something interesting behind you. I've seen a few times, and actually I used to do this, where I had an LCD or an LCD monitor behind my shoulder, and I would project things onto that screen. A lot of times I just put a banner behind me, or if I'm talking in a video, I'll at least have something out there where it draws attention to whatever topic we're doing. If you have a video editing tool, you can actually superimpose content next to you. And if you're doing that, a good option would be, or a good thing to think about would be, you don't want to be right in the middle of that frame if you're trying to keyframe in additional information. So if you're going to do slides, for example, or talk through things and you want to talk alongside of that, make sure that you don't take up the whole frame. So you have to make your video very small. All right. So that's a small word about equipment. The key is we're all carrying high definition cameras now. So, you don't have to go out and buy separate hardware, although there's definitely a time and place for professional equipment. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And here we go. When you need to go to a pro, if you want to shoot on green screen, so if you're displaying content or backgrounds, if you want to transport yourself into different places in the world, or if you have complex things that you need to shoot or share, it's probably best if you would hire a professional to help you with that. If you need pro quality audio and video with polish, if you're going for a high level of fit and finish on everything that you do, if you're trying to make your video stand out and look very professional, and if you're trying to reach a savvy audience, it's going to make sense to spend some money on video. Video doesn't have to be terribly expensive. I'd say the reasonable range for a small business looking at a 2 to 3 minute video is anywhere from $600 to $700 up to a few $1,000s, depending on the complexity of the project. But again, comparing that against a traditional mailing campaign that could very easily reach into the several thousands for just material, very, very effective use of your money to develop videos that will help you grow your business. If you need quality animation, if you need titles and transitions, or certainly if you're trying to tell a story or share complex projects, this is a screen grab from BizzyWeb client iDream.tv. They do brilliant work, along with all of our clients, of course, about sharing complex topics and creating that video with a compelling narrative. If you're new to video and you haven't thought about this, it's really easy to just pop open a window and start droning on. They will coach you and they will make you look good. So if you wanted to take that time, or if you need to be really professional and get what you're looking for out of your event, then this is the best way to do that. So go to a pro. If you need green screen, pro quality audio and video with polish, quality animations, or straight up storytelling. Of course, if you also need something done quickly and you need it to look good, the old adage is you can have it fast, good, or cheap, and you get to pick two. So you need to go to a pro when you need it fast and good. It's not going to be as cheap as doing it yourself, but you also need to think about your time. And so if you have more money than time, hire a pro. If you have more time than money, either start taking classes and figure this out, or still go to a pro because it'll save you time and money in the long run. All right. It's rather easy now to embed video in your website. As a matter of fact, with version 4.0 of WordPress, all you need to do is paste the URL for YouTube into your preview window inside of WordPress. It's automatically going to grab the HTML format, grab the player, and embed your video in a playable format just from grabbing the YouTube URL. You must have a new line, or so you can't paste it at the end of a paragraph. You need to do a completely separate line if you're going to do that. And if you need to do something more, there's an easy embed button in YouTube videos. And if folks have questions about that, I can show you how to do that as well. But the trick is, or the upshot is, it's very easy to embed video in websites now, especially on YouTube. There's other tools out there like Vimeo, but for max SEO benefit and connection, make sure that you're using, in my opinion, YouTube or some other tool. If you have something that you want to control access to or not share on a regular basis, if you need to embed it, but you don't want it to be publicly available, if it's, for example, on a private page of your website, then using a tool like Vimeo where you can control access is going to be a better option. So once you get it in and start doing your YouTube channel, go ahead and get a page set up under your Google account. So you log in and get your Google account all set up. Those folks that are submitting questions or that are visited or are regular attendees of the BizzyWebinars are all on Google already. Once you're logged into that account, you just go to YouTube and you can create your own channel from there. You can tie in your Google Plus for Hangouts on Air, and you do that from your company page. So first you need to create a company page in order to get Hangouts on Air, and then you create your channel, and then you tie your channel in. It actually makes it quite easy for you to do so if you log in and start playing around with this stuff. Once you create your first Hangout on Air, it actually won't let you do anything until you've associated a YouTube channel with it. So makes it super simple, makes it easy, and then customize that page with custom headers, graphics, and playlists. I have a quick cheat sheet on the sizes for what you need to include, but in general, the header size is 2560 by 1440, and that's for a TV background. If you're watching your YouTube videos on Apple TV or Chromecast, that's the size of the banner that'll show up. And then as you get down, your desktop max is 2500 by 423. A tablet is 1855 by 423. And then your text and logo safe area is 1546 by 423. Don't freak out about these actual numbers. The key thing is you want to have a relatively horizontal image. You can't have it be overtly sales oriented, so don't put buy now or half off or whatever in your YouTube header. Make sure that you're branding your organization more than anything, but also try it and set it up and look at it on all devices to make sure that it looks the way you intend. Sometimes YouTube does change these things up, and Google and all of the other social networks. So the key is you need to keep checking your stuff periodically. I'd say at least once a quarter, you should be going back to your channels and reviewing how everything looks. So you've got your video, you've embedded it on your YouTube channel and put it on your page. Now you need to add keywords and optimize that video for you and your organization to get the maximum search engine benefit. So for search engine optimization, or the art of getting you ranked higher on Google, for your YouTube videos, you simply need to add keywords and descriptive titles to your videos. So when you're loading up a video, you can give a description of that video. That video should include in the description the key phrases that you want people to be able to search for in order to find you, your company, and make that sales decision. So add the keywords and the descriptive titles. You can also add tags, and be sure to add those at the bottom of the video. After you upload it, you'll get the opportunity to do that. Actually, as it's uploading, you can do that. Google will, or YouTube will automatically give you suggestions for tags that are popular, but you can always use your own tags as well. So for example, a custom tag that BizzyWeb associates with all of our BizzyWebinar videos is, surprise, surprise, BizzyWebinars. So if you search BizzyWebinars, you'll see all of our videos available on YouTube. Link them to your page and embed them on your site. And you can do that right in the description as a link to your page. And then embedding them on your site, of course, is pretty easy by the tools that we've already looked at. There's a lot of other tools for sharing your videos once you get them online. And this is anywhere. You can actually originate videos on any of these tools as well. But for Instagram, it's a great tool for video sharing. You have to keep your video very short, but it's owned by Facebook, integrates really well, and you can throw on fancy filters in your Instagram video. For Facebook, you can embed those in timelines. The key for Facebook and actually all social video is that it should be independent or not rely on audio to convey a message. So if you have a very boring video with compelling audio, not going to work in social media, because most times people are scrolling through their timelines or their feeds, and unless they physically tap on your video, they're not going to hear anything, although the video may autoplay. So make sure you give a compelling title frame on your videos, especially if you plan on sharing them on any of these tools. With Twitter, you can easily embed videos in your tweets. If you've got an online, or if you're using the mobile apps, you can embed videos very simply, and it locks it right in, loads it up on your website. And then, of course, Vine is another tool that's owned by Twitter. 7-second, 6.5-second sections that automatically loop. So it has to be very, very compelling, very, very short, and very interesting in order to get any traction really on Instagram or Vine. But certainly on Vine, you have about half the time that you have on Instagram to convey your message. But as you'll see, if you go to Vine and start browsing around, there's a lot of really cool creative things that you can do to help grow your brand using any of these tools. All right, so here's where we open it up to ask some questions, and I'll give you a very brief demo, but really wanted to touch on those main things. So if you don't have any questions, we're actually going to end probably by the top half of the hour here. So hit us with that. And as you think of questions, again, here's the way to do that. You go into the event page, and from this event, if you're watching this live at BizzyWeb, you either go to BizzyWeb.com up here and go to the events. On the bottom of the page from BizzyWeb.com is a link, and that'll be our BizzyWebinar online video on your website. If you click on that from BizzyWeb.com, there's a link right here that says head over to Google+, so that you can take advantage of our Q&A tool. When you do that, you're going to open up this window, and you'll see that you've got the agenda and the details here, but also you can click the big green Ask a New Question button, and that will pop up. So thanks very much to Candy for asking that question. I'm going to remove that because it's not really a question, it's just saying hello. But Candy, very glad to hear from you, and thanks for joining us. If you do have any other questions, we'd love to hear them now. Giving folks another quick second to ask those questions, and I'm going to keep my eye on that question tool. As we do that, let me just wrap up the event for you today. As a reminder, BizzyWeb does web design, and if you need help in particular in building a mobile responsive website or modifying your website so that it is mobile responsive, so that it shows up in Google's search results, we can help you with that. We also automatically integrate your website with social media so that when you publish content to your website, that content is automatically published to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and more. So if you want to work smarter, not harder, and publish in a search engine optimized format in something that you own and control, you need to talk to BizzyWeb. We also do web hosting. So if you have a WordPress website, we'd love to talk to you. Doesn't need to be designed by us. We, of course, would love that. But if you need your WordPress website hosted, we actually monitor and maintain your website for you. We do automatic backups. We do security hardening and malware scanning to keep hackers away. And we include 3 hours of real people support. If you have a question on your website, if you need help getting something done, if you need help modifying something or updating, as long as it's not redesigning your website, which isn't included in that package, we will help you with that content, that update, and all of that. And again, we also build in our social media publishing tools with all of our web host packages. Mr. Steve Antelak, welcome, sir. He says, do I have a recommendation on how often videos should be changed and refreshed and archives on the website? Absolutely, Steve. Thank you very much for asking that question. And as far as how often you should publish video on your website, I'd say as often as it makes sense. You know, you don't want to have a video on your website from 4 years ago when you had a lot more or a lot less hair or a lot darker hair, and now you're all gray, right? So make sure that it's relevant to the audience at the time they're viewing it. So if that content gets out of date, or certainly if they see that there's a video on your website that was posted in 2011, it might be time for an upgrade to that video. Doesn't have to be terrible, and certainly there are evergreen posts or evergreen videos on YouTube that don't need to be updated even every 3 or 4 years, but make sure that it makes sense for your clients, your visitors, and keeping it fresh can help. It actually helps out quite a bit in search engine results to continually update your content. But make sure that you're looking at that and considering if the content is still relevant. If it's not relevant, it might be time to refresh that video and to publish new. So for archives on a website, I'd keep them out there as long as they still make sense. Now, if something has changed, if you've changed positions, or if you're talking about something different, we on occasion about every 6 months, BizzyWeb goes through our articles and we cull out the things that just don't matter anymore. But the more content you have on your website, the deeper the well of content on your website, the better you're likely to show up in search engines. So I wouldn't just remove content or even update content for date's sake, because Google knows if that content's already been out there. The best strategy for search engine optimization is to regularly, at least once a month, ideally once a week, maybe even more if that's your type of organization, update your content on your website. That's a new post on your website that has relevant links and information. That's the best way to start showing up in search results. And certainly a lot of BizzyWeb clients have just been destroying their competition in search engine optimization because they've taken our advice and they regularly update their website. All right. Thank you very much, Steve, for that question. If you have any more, I'd love to chat with you about those. And we'll continue on. We also do online marketing. So if you need help with search engine optimization or online video or doing pay-per-click advertising campaigns, email marketing, BizzyWeb is an authorized local expert for Constant Contact. And so if you need email marketing or easy ways to reach out and connect with your clients, BizzyWeb can absolutely help you with that. And we have packages to help you either enhance your optimization of your website, promote your products and services, generate new leads for your customers, or just deepen leads or deepen existing relationships with your customers. So based on all of that, we have packages to help you. And then, of course, remember to join us on each and every BizzyWebinar. What we've got coming up next month, we've got a BizzyWebinar on April 1st for newsletters and announcements featuring email and social engagement. We have optimization of your website on the 8th. We have a BizzyWebinar on campaigns that drive action with online surveys. And then we have a BizzyWebinar on landing more sales on the 22nd. So that's what's coming up. The other things that you see, if you're involved at all with SCORE, BizzyWeb is actually all over the state with SCORE. We're going to be in Brainerd this next week. And so we're talking about all kinds of wonderful things that can help you grow your business. So be sure to go to BizzyWeb.com/events to register for any of our events. Finally, if you'd like to get a free SEO analysis and have us look at the quality of your videos, how your website is looking as far as mobile responsivity, and how you can get better results on your website, go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz and request an SEO analysis. So if you request that, what we call a buzz report, we'll give you site tips, recommendations, next steps, and you'll get 20 pages of great content that'll outline everything that you need to do to grow your business online. No fees necessary, and there's nothing that's going to lock you into anything if you sign up for that. You can take that to your existing supplier, although I'll guarantee we'd kick their butts anyway. So thank you very much for joining us. I, again, am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb, reminding you that with BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung, and we will talk to you next week.